Private Lender Podcast, Episode 60.
The Private Lender Podcast quote of the day comes to us from Mae West, who said, "Love conquers all things except poverty and toothache."
This is the Private Lender Podcast, the show that shares practical advice and know-how for new and seasoned lenders. From private mortgages on single-family houses to joint ventures on commercial projects and beyond. Discover details about investment vehicles that you won't find at your local bank or online broker. Listen and learn from private lenders and real estate investors, as well as from professionals and entrepreneurs, as they share the details, strategies, and the insight that allows for successful and prosperous lending. Now, get ready to increase your ROI. Here's your host, Keith Baker.
Goonga Galunga. Goongala Galunga. Welcome to the Private Lender Podcast, the only podcast on the internet dedicated to creating successful private lenders to provide an alternative economy outside of banks and Wall Street to help people just like you and me be successful in investing in Wall Street or in Wall Street. Listen to me. All right, full disclosure, episode 60. I'm your host, Keith Baker. And this is going to be a complete curveball because I'm phoning this episode in. I unfortunately have, I've thrown out my back and I'm on some muscle relaxers amongst other things. And so I figured this is the perfect time to go ahead and record an episode. But unfortunately, there's going to be a couple of announcements that may not be welcomed, but some that will. And so we'll see what the pharmaceuticals do. I can tell you this, though, my back is feeling so much better as long as I take the regimen of muscle relaxers and anti-inflammatories. But I interrupt this regularly scheduled program in episode 60 to say uncle. I need to take some time. I apologize for giving a crappy episode, but the dog doesn't like it either. In fact, let me go explain this to him before I explain it to you guys. Okay, I think I got the dog calmed down, but anyway, I need to take some time off, basically. Things at the day job have gotten very hectic, very busy, but in a very good way. But it's eating up a lot of my time, and I've always said that the whole purpose of corporate America is to supply office space and office supplies for the entrepreneur, and then the bootstrapping startup. But no, all positive things. I've been asked to put on a few presentations, and it's an honor. Some of the venues are one venue in particular is it's on my bucket list. So from a professional standpoint, it's not Carnegie Hall or anything, but I've got to focus some time on that. There's a lot of interesting things on the day job front. 2019 is going to turn out to be, I think it's going to be quite interesting. So what I'm going to do is I need to take a little bit of time off, a few weeks, but I promise I'm going to come back. There will be an episode every week so that as you commute or you're running, you'll get to hear my voice remind you that there's no episode for the next few weeks. But nonetheless, on a March 11th at the latest, so that's what I'm kind of shooting for, is the March 11th, I will have a brand new episode, interviews. I'm not quitting, not in the least. I've been bootstrapping this experiment called the Private Lender Podcast and just kind of making up my budget as I go along. And I need to sort a few things out, especially the Private Lender Academy. I jumped into the deep, dark abyss with that from a tech and e-commerce standpoint. The stuff I really don't care about, the education part, is the least of my concerns. It's the building up the platform with good customer service, with reliability, so on and so forth. So please bear with me as I do come to put everything together, and I will hopefully have some good news sometime later this year as to when the Private Lender Academy will launch. I just need to learn how to put it all together right now. But the good news is I already have some great interviews already recorded, lined up, heavy hitters, one of my first mentors, and just a really good lineup of people already recorded. I just need a little time to get a few things together in order to to make it happen. But when I do come back, I think a lot of you are going to be happy, especially Bill up in Tennessee, who's been kind enough to reach out to me several times and on several occasions. Stay tuned, because your suggestions have gone a long way, and I want everyone to hear the interviews with the people that I've got coming up. So again, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for sharing your time with me again today. I'm sorry this episode's late. I'm just a little behind schedule, and once I get my head above water, I will be back and hopefully just kicking a bunch of butt and helping you guys be successful private lenders. So for the next few weeks, take care, be good, and I wish you all the best lending and investing. I'll see you soon.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Private Lender Podcast with your host, Keith Baker. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit privatelenderpodcast.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, please rate and review, and we'll catch you next time.